Our coverage begins in Brookston, where it was tough to get anywhere at all earlier this morning. Local and state highway workers have been on the scene there, as you can see, for hours to get the roads cleared and back open again, but they have a lot of work to do. Large limbs and in some cases entire trees had been knocked down and were blocking roads, driveways, and lawns. That's not to mention the damage to people's homes, cars, and other property.
The storm, the wind was so ferocious you couldn't have stood out in it at all. This tulip tree behind me was a very healthy young tree, and it just twisted it and laid it over like a pretzel.
Power was also out for much of Brookston this morning, and at one point emergency responders were also dealing with a gas leak there. News 18's Kayla Sullivan reports the town declared a state of emergency around 7:30 this morning. She joins us now live at a Red Cross shelter at a church on Wood Street. Good afternoon, Kayla.
Red Cross volunteers tell me they've seen nearly 50 families come in and out of this shelter here on Wood Street. Their biggest concern right now is the heat. They're serving lunch and they served breakfast earlier today. They just got a generator started to help with some of that heat. They've got air conditioning inside this church. Joining me now is Dave Fagan with the Red Cross. Tell me, what is your biggest concern right now?
Our biggest concern right now is getting this power up and going in the city. We're taking care of the shelter as far as generators and coming in and out of the heat.
So, do you know how much longer it might be? What have you heard so far?
Well, what we've heard so far is maybe 4 or 5 days before it gets done.
What's your plan if it is that long?
Our plan is, being that we're using a church, and if they need the church services on Sunday, the school was supposed to be first used, but we had to move because of the gas leak. So the gas leak should be fixed. We may be moving back to that school.
Now, this heat is a big concern here. You do have nurses on staff, right?
Yeah, Red Cross has always got nurses on staff whenever we open a shelter. We have 2 of them in here now. One of them's also mental health.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us and talking about this. Of course, we will keep you updated tonight at 5 and 6 and online at WLFI.com. Reporting live in Brookston, Kayla Sullivan, News 18.